Reading from Chapter 3, pages 62 through 66 in our abridged text. Benefits of cardiorespiratory endurance exercise. Cardiorespiratory endurance exercise helps the body become more efficient and better able to cope with physical challenges. It also lowers risk for many chronic diseases. Improved cardiorespiratory functioning. Earlier, this chapter describes some of the major changes that occur in the cardiorespiratory system when you exercise, such as increases in cardiac output and blood pressure, breathing rate, and blood flow to the skeletal muscles. In the short term, all these changes help the body respond to the challenge of exercise. When performed regularly, endurance exercise also leads to permanent adaptation in the cardiorespiratory system. This improvement reduces the effort required to perform everyday tasks and enables the body to respond to physical challenges. This, in a nutshell, is what it means to be physically fit. Endurance exercise enhances the heart's health by maintaining or increasing the heart's own blood and oxygen supply, improving the heart's muscles' function so it pumps more blood per beat. This improved function keeps the heart rate lower both at rest and during exercise. The resting heart rate of a fit person is often 10 to 20 beats per minute lower than that of an unfit person. This translates into as many as 10 million fewer beats in the course of a year. Strengthening the heart's contractions, increasing the heart's cavity size in young adults, increasing blood volume so the heart pushes more blood into the circulatory system during each contraction or larger stroke volume. Increased blood volume also improves temperature regulation, which reduces the load on the heart, and reducing blood pressure. Improved cellular metabolism. Regular endurance exercise increases the body's metabolism down to the cellular level, enhancing your ability to produce and use energy efficiently. Cardiorespiratory training improves metabolism by doing the following: increasing the number of capillaries in the muscles. Additional capillaries supply the muscles with more fuel and oxygen and more quickly eliminate waste products. Greater capillary density also helps heal injuries and reduce muscle aches. Training muscles to make the most of oxygen and fuel so they work more efficiently. Increasing the size and number of mitochondria in muscle and brain cells, thereby increasing the cell's energy capacity. And preventing glycogen depletion and increasing the muscle's ability to use lactate and fat as fuels. Regular exercise may also help protect cells from chemical damage caused by agents called free radicals. Fitness programs that best develop metabolic efficiency include both long duration, moderately intense endurance exercise and brief periods of more intense effort. For example, climbing a small hill while jogging or cycling introduces the kind of intense exercise that leads to more efficient use of lactate and fats. Reduced risk of chronic disease. Regular endurance exercise lowers your risk of many chronic disabling diseases. It can also help people with those diseases improve their health. The most significant health benefits occur when someone who is sedentary becomes moderately active. Reading from the Diversity Matters box, Benefits of Exercise for Older Adults. Research has shown that most aspects of physiological functioning peak when people are about 30 years old, then decline at a rate of about 0.5 to 1% per year. This decline in physical capacity shows up in decreases in maximal oxygen consumption, cardiac output, muscular strength, fat-free mass, joint mobility, and other factors. However, regular exercise can substantially alter the rate of decline and promote both longevity and improved quality of life. Regular endurance exercise can improve maximal oxygen consumption in older adults by up to 15 to 30%, the same degree of improvement seen in younger adults. In fact, studies have shown that masters athletes in their 70s have VO2 max values equivalent to those of sedentary 20-year-olds. At any age, endurance training can improve cardiorespiratory functioning, cellular metabolism, body composition, and psychological and emotional well-being. Older adults who exercise regularly have better balance and greater bone density and are less likely than their sedentary peers to suffer injuries as results of falls. Regular endurance training also substantially reduces the risk of many chronic and disabling diseases, including heart disease, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, and dementia. Other forms of exercise training are also beneficial for older adults. Resistance training, a safe and effective way to build strength and fat-free mass, helps people remain independent as they age. Lifting weights also benefits older people. Improvements in strength appear quickly and are easily applied to everyday tasks, such as climbing stairs and carrying groceries. Flexibility exercises can improve the range of motion in joints, another aid in helping people maintain functional independence as they age. It's never too late to start exercising. Even those over 80 can see improved physical functioning and quality of life after beginning an exercise program. Most older adults can participate in moderate walking and strengthening and stretching exercises, and modified programs can be created for people with chronic conditions and other special health concerns. The wellness benefits of exercise are available to people of all ages and levels of ability. Reading from the Evidence for Exercise box, combine aerobic exercise with strength training. Emphasizing one aspect of fitness at the expense of others may be a special concern for those exercising with weights who don't do enough cardiorespiratory conditioning. Although exercise experts universally agree that resistance training is beneficial for a variety of reasons, it also has a downside. A number of global studies have tracked the impact of weight training exercises on the cardiovascular system to find out if such training helps or harms the heart and blood vessels. These studies have shown that strength training poses short and long-term risks to cardiovascular health and especially to arterial health. Aside from the risk of injury, lifting weights has been shown to have the following adverse effects on the cardiovascular system. Weight training promotes short-term stiffness of the blood vessels, which could promote hypertension or high blood pressure over time and increase the load on the heart. Lifting weights, especially heavy weights, causes extreme short-term boosts in blood pressure. A Canadian study revealed that blood pressure can reach 480 over 350 millimeters of mercury during heavy lifting. Over the long term, sharp elevations in blood pressure can damage arteries even if each pressure increase lasts only a few seconds. Weight training places stress on the endothelial cells that line blood vessels. Because these cells secrete nitric oxide, a chemical messenger involved in a variety of bodily functions, this stress can contribute to a wide range of negative effects, from erectile dysfunction to heart disease. A variety of studies have shown that the best way to offset cardiovascular stress caused by strength training is to do cardiorespiratory endurance exercise, such as brisk walking or using an elliptical machine, immediately after a weight training session. Groundbreaking Japanese research showed that following resistance training with aerobic exercise prevents the stiffening of blood vessels and its associated damage. In this 8-week study, participants did aerobics before lifting weights, after lifting weights, or not at all. The group that did aerobics after weight training saw the greatest positive impact on arterial health. Participants who did aerobics before lifting weights did not see any improvement in the health of their blood vessels. Strength training does promote endurance fitness by improving nervous control of the muscles, increasing type 2A motor units. Muscle fibers have a blend of strength and endurance capacity, and increasing tendon strength. These changes increase muscle strength and the rate of force development, enhance the economy of movement, and increase the speed that blood cells travel through the muscles. The bottom line of all this research: resistance training and cardiorespiratory exercise are both good for you if you do them in the right order. So when you plan your workouts, be sure to do 15 to 60 minutes of aerobic exercise after each weight training session. Cardiovascular diseases. Sedentary living is a key contributor to cardiovascular disease, or CVD. Cardiovascular disease is a general category that encompasses several diseases of the heart and blood vessels, including coronary heart disease, which can cause heart attacks, stroke, and high blood pressure. Sedentary people are significantly more likely to die of cardiovascular disease than fit individuals. Cardiorespiratory endurance exercise lowers your risk of cardiovascular disease by doing the following: promoting a healthy balance of fats in the blood. High concentrations of blood fats, such as cholesterol and triglycerides, are linked to cardiovascular disease. Exercise raises levels of good cholesterol, or high-density lipoproteins, or HDL, and may lower levels of bad cholesterol, or low-density lipoproteins, or LDL. Reducing high blood pressure, which is a contributing factor to several kinds of cardiovascular disease. Enhancing the capacity of cell mitochondria. Enhancing the function of the cells that line the arteries, endothelial cells. Reducing chronic inflammation, and preventing obesity and type 2 diabetes, both of which contribute to cardiovascular disease. Cancer. Although the findings are not conclusive, some studies have shown a relationship between increased physical activity and a reduction in a person's risk of cancer. Exercise reduces the risk of colon cancer, and it may reduce the risk of cancers of the breast and reproductive organs. Physical activity during the high school and college years may be particularly important for preventing breast cancer later in life. Exercise may also reduce the risk of lung cancer, endometrial cancer, pancreatic cancer, and prostate cancer. Type 2 diabetes. Regular exercise helps prevent the development of type 2 diabetes, the most common form of diabetes. Physical activity is also an important part of treating the disease. Obesity is a key risk factor for diabetes, and exercise helps keep body fat at healthy levels. But even without fat loss, exercise improves control of blood sugar levels in many people with diabetes. Exercise metabolizes or burns excess sugar and makes cells more sensitive to the hormone insulin, which helps regulate blood sugar levels. Osteoporosis. A special benefit of exercise, especially for women, is protection against osteoporosis, a disease that results in loss of bone density and strength. Weight-bearing exercise, particularly weight training, helps build bone during the teens and 20s. People with denser bones can better endure the bone loss that occurs with aging. With stronger bones and muscles and better balance, fit people are less likely to experience debilitating falls and bone fractures. Inflammation. Inflammation is the body's response to tissue and cell damage from injury, high blood pressure, or intense exercise, environmental poisons such as cigarette smoke, or poor metabolic health, high blood fats, and poor blood sugar control. Acute inflammation is a short-term response to exercise and is an important way that the body improves physical fitness. For example, short-term inflammation triggers increased muscle protein synthesis that promotes muscle fitness and recovery from exercise. Chronic inflammation, on the other hand, is a prolonged, abnormal process that causes tissue breakdown and diseases such as atherosclerosis, cancer, and rheumatoid arthritis. While exercise increases acute inflammation during and shortly after a workout, it reduces chronic levels of inflammation if the training program is not too severe. For example, practicing endurance training 3 to 5 days a week will reduce inflammation. Training excessively, such as running a marathon several times a month or doing severe cross-training workouts 5 to 7 days per week, will cause overtraining and chronic inflammation. We could call this the Goldilocks effect. The training program should not be too much or too little. It should be just right. Deaths from all causes. Physically active people have a reduced risk of dying prematurely from all causes, with the greatest benefits found for people with the highest levels of physical activity and fitness. Physical inactivity is a predictor of premature death and is as important of a risk factor as smoking, high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. Better control of body fat. Too much body fat is linked to a variety of health problems, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Healthy body composition can be difficult to achieve and maintain, especially for someone who is sedentary, because a diet that contains all essential nutrients can be relatively high in calories. Excess calories are stored in the body as fat. Regular exercise increases daily calorie expenditure, which means that a healthy diet is less likely to lead to weight gain. Endurance exercise burns calories directly and, if intense enough, continues to do so by raising resting metabolic rate for several hours following an exercise session. A higher metabolic rate makes it easier for a person to maintain a healthy weight or to lose weight. However, exercise alone cannot ensure a healthy body composition. You will lose more weight more rapidly and keep it off longer if you decrease your calorie intake and boost your calorie expenditure through exercise. Improved immune function. Exercise can have either positive or negative effects on the immune system. The physiological processes that protect us from diseases such as colds, bacterial infections, and even cancer. Moderate endurance exercise boosts immune function, whereas overtraining or excessive training depresses it, at least temporarily. Physically fit people get fewer colds and upper respiratory tract infections than people who are not fit. Exercise affects immune function by influencing levels of specialized cells and chemicals involved in the immune response. As discussed in Chapter 2, physically active people also have healthier, more resilient genes, which promotes immunity. Exercise preserves the telomeres which form the ends of the DNA strands and holds them together. Without exercise, the telomeres shorten over time, eventually reducing the effectiveness of the immune system. In addition to getting regular moderate exercise, you can further strengthen your immune system by eating a well-balanced diet, managing stress, and getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Improved psychological and emotional well-being. Most people who participate in regular endurance exercise experience social, psychological, and emotional benefits. Skill mastery and self-control enhance one's image. Recreational sports provide an opportunity to socialize, have fun, and strive to excel. Endurance exercise lessens anxiety, depression, stress, anger, and hostility, thereby improving mood while boosting cardiovascular health. Regular exercise also improves sleep.